Shalom everybody. We are here with Academia Bareshet, Network Academy of the Israeli Ministry of Education. I am Anat Sela. I supervise math and science and technology and early childhood education nationally. And I'm here with my friend Efrat.
Hi, I'm the chair of the Western Gallery Partnership, and I've been a music teacher for early childhood for most of my life.
Our session today is about numeracy development through music and play. And we are going to demonstrate various activities, culturally based activities, that can be applicable anywhere in the world. We invite you to join our Facebook event that's open as of now, and you can enter by scanning the QR code or by typing the link as you can see it right here. And we'll be very happy to receive all your comments and photographs and anything you'd like to share with us so that we can keep communicating with you later on. So I will start with a theoretical framework that's concerned with mathematics and with numeracy, and my friend Efrat will join later on to discuss music, and we will conclude with the interlinks between math and music as we suggest them. So our theoretical framework is of cultural psychology, studies of Vygotsky and his followers, which describe children's development as varying between cultures. But the variation between cultures has nothing to do with the innate qualities of children, but with the socioeconomic structure, with the opportunities they receive, and with how adults perceive their ability to engage in to be actively engaged in the educational process. So it has really nothing to do with budgets or with very wealthy environments. It's how we regard children's play and activity with the natural surroundings, with bones, with stones, with beads, and with anything else. We have to decide first what our pre-assumptions will be. Do we regard the child as a child that has to be ready for perceiving certain material? If this is our pre-assumption, then there will be some skills, some concepts, some experiences that we will prevent from children because they are too young. If we regard the child as ready, but the material has to be adapted for him, we're going one step further, but we may have to simplify materials to the very basics so that children will be able to grasp them. In the Israeli Ministry of Education, we are following Vygotsky and the idea that learning leads to development and learning are interlinked. For example, here we can see a board that's describing how the classroom is tidied up at the end of the school day. So you see here 6 labels, and you see names of children who have taken on themselves the responsibility to tidy up a certain section. You can see here on the upper left side the theater. It needs 4 children because there's a lot of work there. But underneath you see the computer area, and only 2 children are needed to clean up that area. If we do it on a daily basis, children are engaged actively in the cleaning up of the room. They notice how many groups there are, how many children in each group, and what is the total number of children involved in the cleaning up. And they can choose also where to assign themselves. So this is an example of a daily experience with numeracy, with numbers, with groups that help the children navigate and help them take an active part in the educational process. Following Vygotsky, we say that social activities are not just a context. the main things happen within that context. The social activity and the processes are internalized, and they construct and reconstruct the self on an ongoing basis. Games and procedures within the social context are the key to understanding how these processes occur. So the most important thing happens in the natural activity of young children, and as we shall show later on, music goes into this kind of activity. What you see here is a building block room in a preschool in a kibbutz in the north of Israel. It's not a corner, it's not a center, it's a full room. Kibbutzim have very large preschools usually. And what you can see here is the outcome of processes that were taking place for quite some time, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, engaging many children, layer upon layer. Children come in, they go out, and together they construct a meaning of something that they are creating and recreating together. Along with a social dramatic play here, we can see that something of a concept is being constructed. We can see a wall, we can see a house inside, we can see the building blocks. Children experience the corners, the faces of the building blocks, their stability, what can be put on top of something else and what cannot be. And the principles that we want to emphasize in our session today and that we follow all along is that it is not a child-based program. It's the child, the teacher, and the community that are at the center. And that we focus on how more than on what we study. And because of that, you will be able to change, to adapt, to add songs of your culture, plays and games of the cultures where you are, as long as the activities are significant and relevant. And something very important, still following Vygotsky, that the inner order of the activity is dictated by the inner reasoning of the activity and not by external predefinition of levels. That means that we don't look at the child who is 4 years old and we say, oh, okay, we will not present written numbers, we will not ask to write numbers. We let the child get involved actively and we ask him to represent, and whatever way he's representing, we're talking about it. What you can see here is another example for an ongoing process. There's a stand here of cold drinks. Israel has very hot summers. We want the children to drink constantly. And so we make it a part of the sociodramatic play. There's a stand here with pretend money and pretend procedures of selling and buying. There's a small glass and a tall glass, and they each cost differently, and there are various drinks, and the children are invited to play and to drink along. So this is another example of how the innate reasoning of the activity dictates the level of the activity. All the activities that we will show today follow these milestones in development of number sense, which we want to enhance. We will see counting and numeration of one group, comparison, number conservation, adding as combining, subtracting as withdrawing, and reasoning, reading and writing of numbers. Everything that we will show today is related to the first chapter in the Israeli curriculum for math of young children, and it will be about numeracy. 2 more chapters that we may want to refer to in the future are spatial thought and perception and quantitative concepts in everyday life. What we can see here in the board shows the various roles that numbers play. Numbers have different roles. This is an example of an infirmary in a preschool. Some numbers are used for labeling. For example, in the eyesight test here, we can see 7, 5, 1, 2. These are labels. These are not amounts. They don't represent any value. We use numbers in counting. In counting, we say the number of the word, and we refer to an object that we are counting. We name the object by the number name, and so we proceed to know how much do we have. We have numbers in ordering. For example, in Hebrew, the names of the days of the week are first day, second day, third day. These are the names of the week. So the ordering comes to be exposed or discovered through the order of the days of the week. It does not exist in English. How is it in your language? We don't know. We would like to know. And we have numbers for representing a certain value. And we have numbers, we use numbers also for measuring. The number plus a unit of measurement that we use. For example, here we can see the child is measuring the height of the other child in centimeters here. What we will show now is just a few examples to explain or to make it more clear about the idea of the roles that numbers play. For example, labeling. We can see here the Trans-Canada #1 road in Alberta going west. This is a label. And we can see here the number of the house, 6307. I doubt that there are 6,307 houses on this street. So this is a label. But within this label, there's also ordering, because if there wasn't, we wouldn't be able to find the house we were looking for. Another example of labeling is the car unit or our phone numbers. There are labels. Counting is when we want to know, when we use numbers to know how much or how many. For example, we have 5 vehicles here, or 4 vehicles actually. 3 of them are painted. They have so many wheels. Some of them have a lever, I think it's called. We can ask here how many children are playing. We can ask how many girls are playing. We can ask how many are wearing some shade of purple. In weaving, for example, we can find out about a pattern. What color was used first? What was second? Which was third? And so on. This is a nice example of a representation when the children wanted to make popsicles in the kitchen of the preschool, and they were voting for how many popsicles of each kind. So you can see that the 2 that have no votings are also represented quite smaller. They are not favorable. And I like this representation as well. This is a representation of how to make little bags of dried fruits for the holiday for each child. So on the top line, we have what to put inside. Going from right to left, we have a portion of 2 dates, then half a pineapple, 3 apricots, 2 prunes, 10 raisins, and 1 fig. And you can see the first child, the first line up behind the dried fruits. We can see that the child wants 1 portion which will include 2 dates. And she wants 2 portions of 1/2 of a pineapple slice. So that will make it a full slice of pineapple. And 1 portion of 3 apricots and so on. And she does not want any raisins at all. So when the children are asking precisely what they want to have in their little bag of dried fruits, and the bags are constructed by them, then each of them really gets what they want exactly and according to their own liking. And this is an example that I like as well. It's a bank that was a pretend bank that was constructed next to a shop. And the banker here inscribed what the children took from the bank. In circles, he drew the coins, and in squares, he drew the notes. So for example, on the far right, you can see that Itamar took one note of 20 shekels and 10 coins of 1 cent, for example. So the children were not taught to inscribe it like this, but when they had to face a situation where they had to write something, clearly, this is the way that the child decided to inscribe it. We have representations of numbers on cakes, sometimes representing the years. We have representation of numbers on notes, money notes. And we have here 2 kinds of representations. On the left, you can see the face value of certain objects in the market. But on the right, it's not a face value. It's a value that will change according to the unit of measurement that's being used. So even though it says 0.99 cents, for example, the person who's buying will pay according to the amount that they're buying. So these were a few. Oh, and here we have also measurement of time, measurement of weight, measurement of length. And what we like and may want to discuss at another time is the mapping of time into space within the calendars. There's a lot to learn from the calendar, from the local calendar, the holidays. There's a lot of math to do in that as well. I want to remind you at this point about our Facebook event that you are welcome to join. We want to learn from you as well. We want to learn how applicable it is for you. And at this point, I'm calling Efrat back. Efrat will take over for the musical concepts, and then we will discuss together the interlinks between math and music.
Now we will see how to integrate music and mathematics. Actually, this idea is very old. The old Greek philosophers, especially Plato and Aristotle, they considered music as part of mathematical science. Following this theory, later on, philosophers named geometry, arithmetic, astronomy, and music mathematical arts. Music is a composition of patterns. It creates in our mind links that suits other pattern activity like math or chess, and it improves abstract thinking. The advantage of music is that it links cognitive growth to social and emotional development, symbolic and metaphoric representation, and qualitative judgment. Music more fully involves brain functions, both left and right hemispheres, than any other activity studied. The music that makes the foot tap, the finger snap, and the pulse quicken steers the brain at its most fundamental level. How can we integrate music and math in the early childhood? This is my expertise, and I'm going to share my ideas with you. You have here songs. Song is the most natural way to study mathematics through music. We have a song about the days of the week, practicing order, number. We have time, songs about the clock, and we have songs that count, like Five Little Ducks. These are American songs, but I'm sure that in your culture, you have the same or even similar songs that you can use to teach mathematical topics. Now, dancing. Children dance at kindergarten. We're going to see a video, and you can see that the children are learning the pattern and the sequence of the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, עקב, עקב. 1, 2, 3, 4. Referring to the structure of the music and the songs. You can count how many parts repeat, how many parts are different. You can prepare cards for that to make it visual. And then you have a lot of ordering and counting. This child here is counting the beats of the music. The whole group is counting and waiting for the 13th beat in which he is going to play his cymbals. Learning the numeral value of the rhythm notes. This is very important. We have different notes for counting how many sounds we are going to play in one beat. So you see the child on the right side, she's making patterns of 4 beats using different rhythmic notation. And on the left side, you see a child who wrote a rhythmic score using the value of the rhythm notes. So, number concept through music includes counting, comparing, representing, addition, dividing into equal groups, experiencing the half, repeating patterns, number conservation. We're not going to deal with all of it today, but this is a list that we want to share with you. Now let's listen and hear and see the video of the ants. And I'm going to ask you to take a paper and write down what do you think are the mathematical concepts in this song. So let's see the video.
Hurrah, hurrah, the ants go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah, the ants go marching one by one. The little one stops to suck his thumb, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 2 by 2. The little one stops to tie his shoe, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 3 by 3. The little one stops to climb a tree, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 4 by 4. The little one stops to shut the door, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching round and round. The little one stops to turn around, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam.
This song is very famous. It's a folk music song. And right now I invite my friend Anat to share with us the ideas and the mathematical topics that were in this song.
Thank you. Okay, so we are here in the area of numeracy, and we can see the counting, we can see the grouping, we can see that in each chapter there is one ant that is separated from the group. But when the children play and dance to this song, they have to group themselves into number groups according to the song, and so they feel the rhythm within them, and they get a physical sense of the number group that they are in.
Okay, and if you want to develop activity in your kindergarten with this song, I suggest that once the children know the song very, very good, you can ask the whole group to listen to the song and divide into different groups. And actually, let's do it together now. It's time for movement.
We have prepared for you a Padlet, a sharing board, which we want you to use to document what you're doing so that you can share it with us later, and we will all be able to see what every group has done in each country that you're in. But listen first to the instructions that Efrat is going to give you.
So I would like you to arrange yourself in one long line. Once you listen to the music, the line will start twisting. Listen to the words. Once the song says that you have to split into pairs, do it. To triples, do it. Okay? So you have to follow the words of the song and arrange yourself in groups according to the words.
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. The little one stops to thack his thumb, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two. The little one stops to tie his shoe, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three. The little one stops to climb a tree, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four. The little one stops to shut the door, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching round and round. The little one stops to turn around, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam.
You have been great, and I hope you will not forget to send us pictures because we want to see how it worked with you.
And to put the pictures on the Padlet,
Yeah,
which we
sure.
will show you later on.
Okay. And now I'm going to explain to you a very important topic in the musical world, and we are going to talk about the beat. We're going to see a video now of thousands of people listening to music and clapping their hands together. How come those people are clapping together without talking to each other, without planning it before, and still they are clapping in unity? So let's watch the video. So as you can guess, this happened because all of those people felt the beat, and all of them clapped the beat. So right now, I want you to listen to the end song again, and let's see if you can feel the beat of that song. So once you hear the song, please clap your hands. Let's hear the song.
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
This song was a march song. It's a basic thing that you can feel very easily, the beat. For the beat, we have rhythm notation in music, and those rhythm notation tell us how many sounds we are going to do in one beat, in two beats, and so forth. So let's start with two rhythm notation, and I'm going to show it to you. Oh. One is has. Has is the silent beat, and we do it like this, has. On the right side, you see the ta. Ta means one sound in a length of one beat, and we do it like this, ta. So we have has, and we have ta. Let's practice a little bit. We have here a group of 4 silent beats. We call this a bar. So let's try and do it together. Has, 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 has. 4 beats, no sound. We have here another bar, also 4 beats, but we have 4 sounds. Ta, 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 ta. Actually, it's the opposite from what we saw before. Let's see another pattern. We have here ta, ta, has, has. Let's do it together. Ta, ta, has, has. How many beats with a sound? 2. How many beats without sound? Also 2. How many beats all together? 4 beats. We have another version here. Let's try together. Ta, has, ta, has. 4 beats. Ta and ta twice. Has and has twice. 2 sounds, 2 silent. And the last one, let's do it together. Ta, 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 has. How many sounds do you hear in this bar? 3. How many silent beats? 1. How many beats all together? 4.
Actually, this is a very good place maybe to go back to mention the number conservation, because at every one of the bars that you presented, the total was 4.
Right.
4 beats in each bar, but they sound differently.
Right.
Sometimes you hear only 2, but there are still 4 beats.
Right.
Sometimes, like here, you hear 3, but there are 4 beats.
Right.
The notations show it, but in listening to it, we hear something else. And yet we still feel the rhythm, and we feel the amount, although we see different from what we hear.
Right.
And this is important,
Right.
for the development.
This is unique to music. And actually you have here 2 symbols, 2 representatives for number 1. not like in mathematics.
That's right.
In mathematics, you write 1. Here you have 2 symbols for number 1. And actually, we have more, but in this lesson, we will learn only those 2. So I was really preparing you for that. Don't get panic. This is what I call a score. If you look at the score, you see lines here, and you see on the left side, how are we going to play the line of the notes? Actually, all of those exercises were preparing you for this. And now we are looking at a rhythmic score. The rhythmic score gives us directions how to play with the song. You have here 4 lines. The first line, you have 2 bars of 4 silent beats. The second line, do you see on the left side the sign of clapping, which means that we have to clap the first line. So let's clap it together. Ta, has, ta, has, ta, 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 has, ta, has, ta, has, ta, 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 has. Wonderful. Let's go to the third line. Now we are going to tap our knees. And it's much simpler now. It goes like ta, ta, has, ta, ta, has, ta, ta, has, ta, ta, has. How many bars of ta, ta, has you have in the third line? You have 5 bars like that. If you compare the third line to the second one, you can see that the pattern in the third line is the same. Ta, ta, has. On the other hand, in the second line, you can see that 1 bar is ta, has, and the second bar is ta, 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 has, which is much more complicated. In each score like this, we have levels of difficulties, so every child can join playing. Let's go to the last line. And the last line, if I not move a little bit, you can see that you are using your foot, and you're stopping your foot 8 times. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, so my question is, are you ready now to play with the music? I know it's not fair, it's very quickly, but you can see it later on and you can practice again. So let's just start. Okay, and we will see the video of conducting the score of the end song.
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. The little one stops to thack his thumb, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 2 by 2. The little one stops to tie his shoe, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 3 by 3, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 3 by 3. The little one stops to climb a tree, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 4 by 4. The little one stops to shut the door, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching round and round, hurrah, The little one stops to turn around, and they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bim bam, bim bam, bim bam, bim bam.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed this musical experience, and I hope that you can do it in your class. And now I want to ask Anat to summarize it.
Thank you. So what we've seen here is one important role in the whole world of numeracy, and that's +1. All the numbers that we know in the world from 0 to infinity are organized one after another. After each number, there is always one more. The beat and the playing the beat, the dancing to the beat, give us a very natural feeling, sensomotoric, holistic feeling of the +1 principle. We also saw here the conservation. We see that each bar has 4 beats, but they look different, and they sound different, and they are still 4. And at the end, we can ask how many bars did we have throughout all the songs, and then we will have another opportunity to count and to add and to get to the amount of bars that constructed the whole beat.
I want to mention something else. Once your children learn those 2 notes, you can ask them to write their own score for this song. You have the structure, you know how many bars in each line, but you can ask them to change, to do something else, and while they're writing their score, they have to think mathematics. They have to remember that each bar has 4 beats, and they have to count, and then they have to play.
And that, going back to Vygotsky, we have children who are actively engaged, who actively navigate themselves through the melody, who actively decide what to play and with what instruments or with what body parts they want to make the sound, and it becomes their own. I don't think there is a need to emphasize how different this is from any worksheet that you can create where children are just following the orders or the construction of the worksheet. This is very different. They are making something on their own.
So we really introduced to you 2 ways that you can do mathematics with every children's song that deals with mathematics with the words, and then you go to the rhythmic notation and make another aspect of mathematics with the song. Thank you.
We are going to send you in a link to any one of you that signed up to this webinar, the partitions and the link to the Padlet, which you can see here now. It's a QR code, you can scan it, or you can type the link below and add your pictures, your videos, your words of how you experimented with it. We would love to get also to our Facebook event that we opened for this webinar some of your comments, some of your pictures, some of your songs. Maybe next time we will be able to use your songs and to share. And this is a culturally based experience.
This is really our dream. We would like to create a basic musical bank for Israel, for Thailand, for other countries, because children's songs are everywhere and you can use them as an educational tool.
Thank you, Efrat.
Thank you.
And shalom to everybody.